Thank you. All right. So continuing to talk about rocks and the rock cycle. Our objectives for the day are to understand how the different types of rocks are formed, how we make them, and to be able to explain how they change from one form to another. All right, you ready? Everybody say hi to Iggy. Hi, Iggy. Hi. Minute, and Morph. All right. Now, see, these friends are all really special because they're all unique and different. All right? Iggy here, see how cool and shiny Iggy is? Iggy is from the Central New York. And he was born when a volcano erupted. Pretty cool, right? All right? Mint here was formed from heat and pressure, and it caused him to crystallize. He's all sparkly and shiny. Each set of tables, you all have a table. Right? I'm going to demonstrate weathering and erosion. Each individual group will then explore your scientific process, and you'll report back to the class, so that together we'll understand the entire rock cycle. Okay? And then the weather came. There was heat and rain and wind, and those elements started to break down like coiled rock. Over time, slowly, little bits and pieces started to form. These little bits and pieces are known as sediments. My sediments, then they were picked up by wind and water, and they were moved to other places, like the bottom of the ocean, lakes and rivers, and layers and layers of sediment started to form together.
What are you doing?
It's pretty cool. Alright, so we have some igneous rock forming deep within the earth, right? Alright, I'm just going to move this a little bit just to... It'll start to... Did you guys make any discoveries?
Yeah.
Crayons. Okay. Instead of saying the effect of crayons, though, what can we assume? It forms sedimentary rock, okay, but maybe there just wasn't enough heat and pressure. Okay, so let's go through a little bit. Let's go through our lab and see what we've decided. I'm going to give you all a copy of this little graphic organizer so you can fill in as we go through the processes that occur. Okay? All right, so group number 1, compaction and cementation. What did you gentlemen discover? What did you do and what happened? Jason? What did you do?
We used pressure to combine the substances together.
Okay, the different types of sediments such as sand, rock, shell. Okay. Was it a lot of pressure? No, because what would have created that pressure?
Heat.
Maybe a slight amount of heat, but remember we talked about those individual sediments, they just go into the water and they just start to sit on each other layer by layer. So Nicholas, what actually happened?
I would think that all the layers on top of one another would create pressure, and then if it was underwater, the water pressure from all those gallons of water on top of it would also push down.
Excellent. So not only do you have that increased pressure from the material itself, but the pressure of gravity on the water and the water pressure as it gets pushed down, the deeper it gets underwater, the heavier that pressure is going to be. Okay, so we put a little bit of pressure into this process. And Route 2's rock actually came out more looking like sedimentary rock. And the reason for that is, you see the individual particles still? You see how easily it's crumbling apart? This is much more like the sedimentary rock. Now, so Route 2, they were exploring heat and pressure, and obviously, what did we find out? If there's not enough heat and pressure, metamorphosis is not going to occur. My rock is not going to change into sedimentary. But my back group, they put a lot of heat and pressure on their rock, and theirs, it did morph together. And what's unique about this, when I break it in half, you can see all those different layers, yeah, that compress, okay? So this is how we know metamorphic rock. You can see those individual layers, how the heat and pressure has semi-molded them together, but it hasn't made it into just one unit, okay? Now, my girls in the back can tell you they had fun for it, right? So they actually had to use intense heat. Because when rock is in the center of the earth, the movement of the crust, the plate creates intense heat. And that pressure, it turns our rock into magma. When the magma comes out of our volcano, it becomes lava. And when the lava cools, that's how I get my aqueous rock. So let's check the freezer real quick. So what did you girls in the back, what did you find out through your process? What did you discover? What did you think was cool? Okay, so it completely bubbled. It was 100% melted. So when it did, can you now see all the different elements of the rock in it? No, igneous rock is much more uniform. You're also going to notice, ooh, that's so warm. The igneous rock, you notice kind of how it's shiny and smooth, like my buddy Iggy up here, my obsidian? Okay, that's from intense heat. So the difference in all of your experiments was the amount of pressure and the amount of heat. Each rock goes through its own cycle. When it's born, it is either exposed to weathering and erosion, or heat, or pressure, or both, and that's how our different rocks form. In front of you, you each have your rock cycle diagram. Using these terms, compaction and cementation, heat and pressure, and melting and cooling, I want you to try to fill it in with each type of rock and how it's formed. For our summit assignment, I have a little raft project for you. Y'all ready? Okay. You guys, just like I was talking about my buddies here, Iggy and Minute Morph, and I'm Gus, and I turn them into people, you're going to pretend you're a rock. And you're going to tell me your life story. So you're going to tell me how you started out, what happened as you grew up. So for example, I'm going to pretend I'm Iggy now. And I'm going to say, there I was, just enjoying myself, hanging around, when all that weathering came. The wind came, the rain came. I was sad. I started to break down. Then the wind started blowing me all over the place, and I ended up in the bottom of the ocean. Now I have to decide, do I want to turn it into sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock, igneous rock? What's going to happen? You choose your own adventure, okay? I'm going to go through the process. I'm going to say, man, when I was under the water, there was so much pressure. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. I feel the weight of the world on top of me. And I slowly turned into metal. And then more and more layers kept piling on top of me, and I kept getting pushed farther and farther into the ground. And man, that was a lot of pressure. And I started to feel claustrophobic. And I started to feel all this heat. The next thing I knew, I was boiling. And you know what? I was so hot, the earth couldn't contain me anymore. And it spewed me all out. But it was cold when I came out of the volcano. And when I did, it cooled very quickly. And I turned beautiful. Okay, Okay, so just like my silly cycle of becoming a rock, I want you guys to choose. How do you start? What happens to you? How do you finish? Okay? So there's a rubric on the back. We'll go over the instructions. There's a rubric to get you started.
Long ago, our rock ancestors split our planet into three factions: the land of Igneo, the land of Metamorphia, and the land of Sedimentar. Well, one day, there was a small pile of sediment named Sandy. One day, Sandy was blown into the ocean, and then over many years became a sedimentary rock. Sandy was told when she became a rock, she would have to choose what rock to be and what land she would live in. Sandy thought and decided to go with the land of Metamorphia. In order to do so, Sandy would have to undergo heat and pressure to undergo this transformation. Sandy lived happily ever after and continued to change to other forms.